Hello, YouTube. German astronomer Sebastian Vollmer, while he was at his country home, took an amazing photo of the planet Mercury. On this photo, we can see something that looks more like a comet or a shooting star, because it's a gorgeous tail that you see. But this is not a comet, but a planet, stony and devoid of atmosphere. Mercury, the closest celestial body to the Sun. So what happened and how is it possible? Maybe the heavens have turned over and chaos has begun in our solar system. Well, finding Mercury in the sky is still a challenge. The planet is so close to the dazzling Sun that it orbits around it in a little over 2 months. Accordingly, Mercury almost always hides in its blazing rays. Experienced people use telescopes to search for Mercury in the daytime sky. But they take a big risk. One wrong move and the telescope will rest against the Sun. And if you look into the eyepiece at this moment, you will lose your sight. So be very careful. And better yet, don't do it. But it is in these spring days that it is a rare opportunity to consider Mercury as a star and very bright, and even just looking with unarmed eyes, so to say, just looking up in the sky, immediately after sunset, the planet hovers over the western horizon, letting out ominous red rays in the still light skies, but to have a tail spewing out of it as well. So what is it? The physics of the phenomenon is still mysterious, but we already understand something. As I said, Mercury is very close to the Sun, and it has no atmosphere. The temperature on the planet's surface reaches 430 degrees. The solar wind, the stream of charged particles that our luminary, our star, spews, pummels the rocks, the craters of Mercury, and knocks out sodium atoms from the ground. Sodium glows intensely yellow. It rises above Mercury, and it is thrown away by the same solar wind. As a result, sodium, flickering with the light of a neon sign, stretches like a comet's tail over a distance of 25 million kilometers. It was this phenomenon that Vollmer filmed. And now let's remember that right now, the Sun is raging. It enters a period of maximum activity. And we're speaking about April of the year 2023. We can see this perfectly well on Earth. Magnetic storms and auroras every now and then. The maximum activity of the daylight this time turned out to be incredibly tough. A few years ago, the Sun was sleeping, and astronomers even began to fear that it was cooling down. It was already cold inside, but it was shining by inertia, okay? But, what cooling down there are they talking about? The Sun rages like a young star, and this frenzied maximum flow of the solar wind throws sodium from Mercury. That is, it turns out that the phenomenon is natural, and everything is fine with Mercury as far as the planet on which the metal melts, as far as everything can be in order on such a planet. But the Sun went off the rails. Look, most likely, if you just find Mercury up in the sky with your unarmed eyes, you won't notice the tail. The astronomer used the trick. He took a picture through a filter that passes only sodium light, emphasize, so to speak, the contrasts. This allowed him to weaken the brightness of the evening sky and highlight the tail. The Earth also has a sodium tail. If you carefully follow the colors of the sunset, you may notice at some point a yellow flash on the horizon. It is the rays of the setting sun that illuminate sodium in the upper layers of the atmosphere. Where did we get it from? Exactly from Mercury. The solar wind knocks out sodium from there, although not only from there, carries it to us, and it accumulates here. The moon periodically enters the sodium tail of the Earth, as it is not difficult to figure out on the full moon. You can see that. At such moments, strange things can be observed from the Earth. Usually the color of the moon is monotonous gray, but suddenly beautiful yellow or red spots appear in places. Strange lights. Astronomers of the past even thought that it was the inhabitants of the moon signaling to us with the help of mirrors. All this is the interaction of the moon with the tail of the Earth. If you choose a very dark night and let your eyes get used to it, the tail can be seen like this. At the point of the zodiac opposite the sun, it will be like a dim spot. It's called countersign, I believe. And if you live in a city, there's no sky, but you want to join high science, so to say, you take a candle and carefully, taking care of your eyes and everything you need to take care of in such cases, throw a few grains of table salt into the flame. The flame will turn yellow for a moment. This is sodium, just like the one in space. You have just reproduced the planetary processes on your desk, but best don't do it. Just find a video on the internet and you will see it. So this is what I wanted to let you know if you have questions about Mercury being a possible comet. And I'll bring you more interesting videos about our solar system as well, and the galaxy and the universe. So if you like my research, please kindly support me. You will see how to do it in the links to this video. And I have a number of videos about our solar system and even Mercury too. You will find it. Please subscribe to my channel and tell others.